Hey guys! First of all, before we begin, I would like to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. Just wanna slip that in. Sorry if it's a bit late. Now, onto the video. Wi-Fi has been slowly integrated to our lifestyles for the last decades or so. Even more so thanks to the pandemic that is currently affecting our day-to-day lives. But despite all that, most people are either still having issues navigating through the options and settings that are available in the networking world, or just really don't care. And so, I'm here to show you the basic that you should really know about the Wi-Fi in general, how easy, and sometimes even how cheap it is to improve your digital experience on the internet. First of all, let's talk about Wi-Fi standards. These are protocols which are meant to tell you the expected performance you should have with the appropriate hardwares. The three most common ones would be 802.11n, AC, and AX, also known as Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, and Wi-Fi 6. Each of these standards are backward compatible, which means that Wi-Fi 6 will support every other standards before it, although the speed will still be limited to what your device actually supports. For example, if the device only supports up to Wi-Fi 4, then it would still be limited to Wi-Fi 4 speed even when you connect to a Wi-Fi 6 connection. But that's all these are, standards and protocols. It's only there to give you information and estimates. The real speeds that you can get would still depend on your hardware. Second of all would be frequency bands. These are the range of wave frequencies used to transmit your data. Basically, the way in which how your connections gets broadcasted. The two most used range would be 2.4 GHz, which are longer in terms of range but lower in terms of maximum speed, and 5 GHz, which are shorter in range but faster. Again though, the performance will still depend on your hardwares. Now before we go into the use case, I would like to shortly explain about Wi-Fi channels. If I were to describe the frequency bands as roads, then channels would be like the lanes within that road. If you never tinker with your network setting, then most likely this setting would be on auto. There is also another settings called channel width, where you can actually merge several channels into one. Though it's not that useful, especially if you are on 2.4 GHz band. Now, I wouldn't delve too much into this, but my best recommendation for these settings would be to pick the least populated channels, preferably either number 1, 6, or 11 on 2.4 GHz band. Second of all, I don't recommend merging channels when you live in a crowded place with lots of interference around you. Now the use case. 2.4 GHz is the default and generally used Wi-Fi band, and in most cases it is adequate, since people mostly don't have access to high-speed internet connections to begin with. However, 5 GHz still has its own benefits. Thanks to the less all-around adoption, there will be less interference and congestion around you. And second of all, thanks to the previous point, you will have better connection quality, and that means overall faster speed. But what if you actually live in the middle of nowhere, where there aren't any neighbor around you, at least no one's close enough, and your internet speed is not that high? Shouldn't you be just fine with 2.4 GHz then? Well, yes, but actually no, because newsflash, other than Wi-Fi, there are lots of other things that also use these 2.4 frequency bands. Things like microwave, car alarms, Bluetooth devices, even your typical wireless devices and peripherals such as gaming mouse, headsets, and many more. Most of them, if not all, uses the 2.4 GHz frequency band to communicate because of its long effective range. And because of this, you will still have interference in most cases. And besides, even on the same internet speed subscription, 5 GHz can sometimes still offer faster speeds and better connection quality. At times, even competitive enough to the quality of a cable connection. But man, if 5 GHz was so great and everyone starts adopting it, Wouldn't the 5 GHz band ends up just like the 2.4, congested and crowded? Well, again, yes, but actually no, because unless your house and router are practically beside your neighbor, it won't really happen. 5 GHz frequency actually have denser waves, and that leads to it having shorter effective range, which means you are less likely to interfere and get interfered by other people's signal. Not only that, if you are interested in doing some streaming, casting your videos or other media from your device to another, for example, if you want to stream your games, your experience will be improved by leaps and bounds by going with 5 GHz. So, conclusion time. Is 5 GHz a necessity? Well, not exactly. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it is certainly a welcome upgrade and definitely worth a try if you are having trouble with your current connection quality. For example, if you have a high internet speed subscription but somehow still gets uncharacteristically low download speeds on your wireless devices like phones or laptops, switching or upgrading to 5 GHz band might be the answer to your woes. Now, most ISP provided routers, the ones that you get when you buy a internet subscription, are pretty crappy in general, so you probably won't get 5 GHz support out of the box. However, 5 GHz capable routers are also going down in terms of price and therefore more affordable than ever. Mine cost somewhere around $30 converted from my currency, and it has served me well. All you have to do to experience 5 GHz is to buy one of the routers that supports it, connect them to your provided routers, set it up, and you should be all set. I won't be diving into the setup procedure too much because it can differ depending on your router brands, and most of them have already provided a simple guide to do so. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching or listening. Like the video if you like it, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you on the next occasion.